One of the things my clients struggle with the most is being consistent. They ask me over and over again, how do I develop the muscle to stay consistent? So this is what makes the difference between people who have big dreams and achieve them and people who have big dreams and don't. Quite often is taking consistent action. So that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to talk about how to learn structures and processes around how to be really good at taking consistent action. Hello, my loves. Welcome to the channel. Today, we are going to have a chat about how to take consistent action. Now, I know it's not the most glamorous of topics, but it is absolutely key and core in order to help you achieve your dreams and goals. In the previous video, I talked about how to create clarity around what it is you really want, and that how clarity is key in getting that vision for your big dreams, and then breaking it down into achievable goals, and then, here it comes, taking action. And not just any old action, it really needs to be taking consistent action over time. So if you missed out on the clarity video, swing back there when you have a minute and then come back and join us. Lots of my clients tell me they struggle with consistent action. And I think we've probably all been there, haven't we? I mean, I certainly have. And I'm sure you can think of occasions and areas of life that you find it more difficult to take consistent action in than others. And I often find that when we enjoy a certain area of life, or it comes naturally to us, we're naturally talented in that area, for example, then taking consistent action is easier. However, there are other areas of life which we find naturally a little bit more difficult, and we might have to have a bit more effort associated. And those are often the areas where we struggle to stay consistent in our action. And that's so often why my clients come to me to help them with those slightly trickier areas, so I can get them into this exact structure and process in order to help them take the action that's necessary to create their dreams. To be an excellent creator in your life, it's essential to nail taking consistent action. Again, it's not super exciting, but it is absolutely key in building up to those goals and then achieving those big, beautiful dreams. So we can write out the dream, we can imagine what it is we really want, we can craft a beautiful vision board, but if we don't get out into the world and take action, those dreams and goals are very unlikely to come into reality. So think of it like writing out your dream and getting clear about what you want is putting in your order to the universe. And then taking action is like receiving it, getting the delivery of the package. So it's an unavoidable step that we have to learn to get good at. Okay, let's get into it. Taking consistent action is the key part. Action is great, but it's not always about the big swings. It's taking those small daily, weekly steps that build over time towards our goals that really make the difference between creating what we really want in our lives and not. So, how do we do this? Let's use the gym analogy for this one. I love this one because it's so clear, we can all understand what it means. If you're trying to build fitness and strength in your body, most of us know it's probably a good idea to go to the gym. But if you go to the gym one day a month for 10 hours, you're not really going to create any lasting change, and you'll probably do something detrimental. However, if you go to the gym 3 times a week for an hour each time over weeks and months, you will start to see change to your strength and fitness. You will start to reach your goals in that area by committing to consistent, regular action in alignment with your goals and dreams. So we can apply this same concept to anything in life. The gym concept of building up your strength and fitness, we can apply it to whatever we're creating in our lives. We need to do little and often consistently in order to build and reach our goals. So I'm going to give you an example from my life. So recently I've been working on growing my marketing business, and It has been challenging at times. So I wrote out my dream. I got really clear on what it was I wanted to create. I made it feel very connected to me, exciting and motivating. And then I wrote down my big dream into goals. And then I figured out the actions I needed to take in order to get there. One of the biggest actions I needed to take was business development activity. So that means sitting at my desk and looking for, researching, delving into networking for new business opportunities. So what I did was commit to an hour a day of new business opportunities work. The first hour of every day, that was my commitment. That was my consistent action. And I did it. I did it each day. So let me tell you, it was not easy. I did not always want to. I did not always feel like it. Why? Because it was a challenge. It felt out of my comfort zone. Obviously, when you're doing business development work, there are going to be no's as well as yeses. Rejection feels bad. Rejection makes you feel like you want to curl up into a little ball. So there were all these resistances. It was scary. It was out of my comfort zone. Rejection is real and made me feel bad, but I had to keep going and keep powering through anyway. So the point of this story is when it comes to consistent action, quite often we're not going to feel like it, and we need to find a structure and a process that enables you to take that consistent action, even when you don't want to, even when it's scary, and even when you don't feel like it. And that's what we're going to work on today. So the example of me working on business development for my business has had a happy ending, I'm pleased to announce. I have taken on recently a very exciting new client, and all is well. My hard work has paid off. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, and we're going to talk about the tools that you need to put in place to do exactly the same. In whichever area of life is important to you right now, you can apply these tools to whatever you want. It's important to know that if you haven't been great at taking consistent action in the past, that doesn't mean anything about how good you could be in the future. So I don't want you to feel weighed down by what's happened in the past. I want you to know that this is a learnable skill and something that over time you can teach yourself and become better and better and better and more skilled at. So it's here for everyone for the taking. It's just tools and skills we learn, and discipline is like building a muscle that we build up over time. So as we touched on before, the first step is getting really clear about what it is you want. Writing the dream, visualizing it, making it beautiful, breaking it down into achievable goals, and figuring out which actions you need to take in order to get you there. Now we're starting from where we are now. The action steps are going to be small and achievable. Now the tool we're going to learn about how to consistently keep taking action is something that was inspired by the holistic psychologist, who you can find online, and it's called daily promises. And the concept is to keep small daily promises, daily or weekly promises to yourself that help you build to what it is you're creating. So we start small and we build up, and the actions that you need to take are like promises that you're making to yourself. So let's think of an example. We'll use the gym analogy, that you're building up your fitness and strength. And in order to do that, we've already discussed that you need to go to the gym, let's say 3 times a week for an hour each time. In that time, you need to be doing exercises that are working on the parts of the body that are important to you. Okay? So our daily, weekly promises could include just those bits and pieces. It could include going to the gym on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, let's say. And those are the promises that you've made to yourself for that week. So now, if you keep your promises to yourself, this is where it gets fun. You get to reward yourself. So you incentivize yourself by coming up with a really fun reward each week if you keep all your promises to yourself. And that helps you feel motivated towards your dream. Let me just explain this concept of rewards for keeping promises to yourself. When we're building, let's say, fitness and strength, the actual reward, which is a change in our body shape, a change in how we feel, being able to lift all those heavy things, that reward is quite far in the future. It might be months away. And our little human brains, as wonderful as they are, find it quite hard to connect to that reward being so far away. So what we can do is kind of bypass the limitations in our brain by bringing some rewards closer like the treat at the end of the week. So let's say a massage maybe might be something that you want to treat yourself with, or getting your hair done, getting a blowout, or buying yourself a really lovely thing that you've had your eye on, but it's a bit of a treat. If we can bring those rewards closer, it helps to incentivize us and motivate us to stick to those promises, even though the big reward, which is building fitness and strength, is quite a few weeks or months down the line. I hope that makes sense. So the key is to start small with manageable promises, daily or weekly, whatever it is you're working on. Be really clear what they are and have a reward set up for yourself at the end of the week when you achieve your promises and keep them. The benefits of doing this from a day-to-day perspective is you feel really good when you keep your promise to yourself. Not only because you're building towards your dream, but also because you're building your self-esteem. So I promise you, you will feel great. The other thing I really want you to bear in mind is if you don't keep your promises, especially to start with, I really don't want you to feel bad or get into a shame spiral or start to tell yourself that you suck. That's not what we're doing here. We're all imperfect. We're all going to break our promises to ourselves, absolutely. So I want you to move past feeling bad as quickly as possible and get back on the horse to start afresh the next day. Feeling bad is just wasting time and wasting your energy. We're just using these promises to help you build towards your dream. Simple as that. Get back on the horse and keep going. I'm going to give you 3 really quick tools to help you make the absolute most of your promises tool. The first one, make your goals smart. So make them specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Basically, that just means make them really clear and specific so that you know whether you've kept your promise to yourself or not. For example, I'm going to do a bit more exercise. It's not clear. It's not a SMART goal. Whereas I'm going to go for a walk for 30 minutes every day before work. That's very specific. So make sure that your promises to yourself are SMART. Number 2, put in your calendar what you're going to do, when you're going to do your promises. Block out that time. If we're going back to the gym analogy, block out that time for those 3 days a week, put it in your calendar and make it non-negotiable. Number 3, accountability. This is key. Get someone that you know or like to hold you accountable. Join a group, an online community, whatever it might be, and or use technology. There's lots of really handy tech tools and apps to help keep you accountable and keep you on track. Let me know in the comments what your promise is to yourself and how you're going to keep yourself accountable. Let's all share so we can help each other, encourage each other, and be each other's accountability partners. In summary, consistent action is absolutely key in realizing your dreams and making them come true. It may not be glamorous, it may not be sexy. More often than not, it's hard graft and discipline, and it's about building up that muscle of discipline and staying consistent, using the tools that I've just taught you and getting better and better as you keep working on it. So I really hope these tools have helped you, and I'm there with you in the hard graft of keeping the promises, staying in consistent action, building toward goals and dreams. It's unavoidable for us all. So you can be sure that we're in this together. I really hope you found these tools useful, and please like, share, subscribe, and I'm really excited to see you next time. Take care.